Hi, Jeremy Blake Reality Training, and welcome to number 4 in my series on leaders and your communication. And this whole series is inspired by the work of Dr. Robert Cialdini, looking at his 6 weapons of persuasion and how you can build these into the way that you communicate to your people, your teams, your individuals, and how you make an impact as a leader. So, number 4, as you can see behind me, reciprocity. Giving things freely with no expectation of return. It's one of the reasons why we survive on planet Earth. We help each others and we don't expect them to definitely help us back. And karma gets involved, of course it does. But let's talk about your communication. How can reciprocity work so well? Because I understand this is a marketing idea that we give people things free and we hope we get stuff back. And no, let's look at this in your communication to your people. I'm going to give you 2 core things that your people would absolutely love you to give them for free with no expectation of return. The first thing is time. There's an old adage that what men want is more money and what women want is more time. But how ridiculously outdated is that? I'm sure some women want plenty more money and men want more time. So actually, time is incredibly valuable. You could give your people more time off, more time to complete something, or time, just time in lieu of something, time to celebrate something, time to consider something, time. You're not in charge of the clock or 24 hours in the day, but you are to some degree in charge of maybe giving people back time. Incredibly powerful to give people a period of that time for them to use in whichever way they want or as a surprise in the way that you would like to reward them. So that's time, folks. The second thing is people would love to be given the freedom freely, really, truly freely, to speak freely. And to get this kind of thing going in your culture, they cannot be judged. It isn't written down. It's not an appraisal. There's no report. But to be able to have the ability to say to your people, I want you to speak freely. You know, we work with large organizations that do surveys, voice surveys as they might call them, 360s, all of this sort of stuff, and it's written down, it's anonymous. But what about a culture where people can really speak up and speak freely, not to argue, because the more freely you're speaking, it just becomes dialogue. But initially, for somebody to voice something that they think is a wrong decision or a difficult route to reaching a result would be quite outspoken. But really, as a leader, one of your things you can always communicate each time in your message is we are an organization that encourages you to speak freely. And the great thing about leaders is when you see greater women than you are, greater men than you are, hire them on the spot because that's how your organization is going to grow. So, 2 things you can do as leaders in your communication using the power of reciprocity is giving people time and giving people the ability to speak freely. Thanks for tuning in. Jeremy Blake, Reality Training, results, as always, through inspiration.